as you come out with it.
Everything that happens, it changes.
You'd see a level of execution unmatched in Super Bowl history.
Oh, yeah.
Touchdown number 1, patience. Tom Matthews was a linebacker, and his company was on to option 2.
I don't think it should be. The Federal Reserve has long maintained its goal of monetary policy, maximum sustainable economic growth in an environment of price stability. Well, in 1998, we had the fastest growth in 15 years, 4.1%. We had the lowest inflation rate in 35 years.
Many economists do, however, expect Fed policymakers to agree that the next change in rates is more likely to be up than down. That subtle shift away from the Fed's current neutral stance is known as a change in bias. But such a move would not be made public for several weeks. Some economists believe the Fed might make the shift because of its growing concern about the solid pace of economic growth. There were also growing worries about the surging U.S. stock market, providing fears of an asset bubble. But others say Brazil's financial troubles could slow U.S. manufacturing and
The Empire State Building here. Terrific day today. You can see out to Pennsylvania and New Jersey out to 70 miles on a day like today. It's even more spectacular at night. Beautiful. Hello there. The area we'll be going down now, they'll be in the Rug District. Rugs from the Middle East and the Orient, primarily in this area. And Elizabeth Taylor, twice. Manhattan means the island of wooded hills from the Manhattan Indians. One pass this light, look to the left side, that will be what they call the little church around the corner. The original Madison Square Garden used to be. Across the way, off on the left side, the New York Life Insurance Company and the Metropolitan Life Insurance Companies. The building straight ahead, that triangular-shaped building, and it's called the Flatiron Building because it looks like a flat iron. These two buildings on the right side where the American flag is, the Toy Center. Toys, a major industry in New York. Toy manufacturers are right here. Store owners come up from all over the country to buy their toys here in this building. Now the building straight ahead, the Flatiron Building, it's a very windy area there. It's called 23rd Street. In the early 1900s, the ladies wore long dresses. And it's very windy here. When the winds would blow the dresses high, the men would leer at the ladies, and they would say, 23 skidoo. Skidoo. 23 simply meant 23rd Street, which is right here. Skidoo is to $25 a day. Most people take the bus or the subway, except the people from Staten Island. They go by boat. Ferry boat. I think that's a great way to go to work. See how high they are? They're shaped in a downward loop. Con Edison, Consolidated Edison, is also located here on 14th Street. That generates all the electricity for New York. So the Dutch were here, York. The Dutch influence, the English influence. On Amsterdam Avenue, for example, named after Amsterdam in Holland. Haarlem, named for the town in Holland. Haarlem is spelled with 2 A's in Holland, but here in New York is spelled with 1 A. Haarlem, that's where the Dutch came into being. At the end of this block on the left-hand side, I'll point out the original Macy's store. Macy's began here on 14th Street in 1880, a long time ago. There is a yellow awning on the left-hand side. It says electronics. Basil Electronics. Look on the left side. You see this yellow awning? Look here to the left. See it? Electronic and gift store right there. That's where Macy's began. Mr. Macy was a whaling boat sailor. He had a whale of a sail years ago. He called it a whale of a sail because he was a whaling boat sailor. So we had a sail, that's what he called it. 14th Street divides the Chelsea area on the right side, the Greenwich Village area on the left side. Straight ahead is the state of New Jersey and the Hudson River. The next stop will be Greenwich Village. The Hudson River was founded by Henry Hudson in 1609. He was looking for a direct route to India, but instead he found the Hudson River. That helped New York a lot because of the industrial and agricultural products from the Midwestern cities. In New York City, if a building is more than 6 stories high, it must have an elevator. Less than 6 stories, it's called a walk-up apartment. There are many walk-up apartments in New York, especially here in Greenwich Village. You can buy almost anything here, less cost. The merchandise is excellent. The prices are lower. Lower, for example, than they would be uptown. You will see the narrow streets here. You see this green awning? Look at this grocery store on the left side. You see it? Fruits, vegetables, flowers, right there. That's part of the New York culture. In every neighborhood you will see that. Fruits, vegetables, flowers. Oftentimes in New York, people are too much in a hurry to have lunch in a restaurant, so they stop off at some of these delicatessens or even some of the vendors to grab a bite to eat. So it's a very convenient city to eat. It's also a great walking city. Now down here in the Greenwich Village, wonderful places to shop. Very nice. Look at all the restaurants as we get further down here. Very nice. Very pleasant here. You see the narrow streets? But look at all the restaurants here, combined with the stores. You can really have a good time shopping. The food is very good. You see what I mean by the melting pot of the world. Mexican, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, French, they've got it all. Chinese, Japanese, look at them all. Very pleasant down here. This is Greenwich Village. If anybody wanted to get off here, I will stop here now. Greenwich Village. There's nobody getting off here, Gary. See ya. Now look at all the stores here. It's amazing how many stores they have. We just jostled the traffic light a little bit. They're very low, some of these traffic lights, but they didn't come down, so we're okay. Now look at all the stores here on Greenwich Village. This is Bleecker Street, named after Anthony Bleecker. He was a poet with a very sarcastic wit. Nevertheless, they named the street after him. But look at what you have here: leather goods, restaurants, clothing stores, food stores, artwork. You've got it all here. Pastry shops. Tuition ranges between $6,000 and $18,000. Our police department, about 38,000. They're called New York's finest. Our fire department, about 8,000. And they're called New York's bravest. Years ago, they hung criminals on an elm tree here. So, they call it a hanging elm tree. Washington Square. Named after Washington. He was everywhere. He was in New York, Long Island, Brooklyn, New Jersey, upstate New York, Washington, everywhere. So they named this area for him, Washington Square campus. Here is NYU. Now this street here is called LaGuardia Place, after former mayor Fiorello LaGuardia. Mayor LaGuardia had a special feel for New York. Not only did he fight crime, but he was wonderful with children. What happened was, years ago, there was a newspaper strike, and because of the newspaper strike, the children were not able to read their comics. On Saturday mornings, Mayor LaGuardia read the comic strips to the children on the radio. A great gesture on his part, for sure. LaGuardia Airport named after Mayor LaGuardia, and the show Fiorello named after him also. There is a college in New York now, LaGuardia Community College, named after him. When we pass this light, on the left-hand side, there is a sculptured form of Mayor LaGuardia. He was called Little Flower. You will see him on the left-hand side. It's a light, it's just about the size. Well, there it is. See him? Look to the left. Right there. There he is. See him? Mayor LaGuardia. From 1934 to 1945. One of the finest mayors we ever had. But I have to add, our current mayor, Rudy Giuliani, has done an excellent job in New York. Very good. A cleaner New York. A safer New York. Our mayor has a lot to do with that. And so has our police department. I can tell you, New York is safer than it ever has been. And we're very proud of that. As we get through the area straight ahead, that will be the Soho district. Soho means south of Houston. It's pronounced Houston. It's spelled like the city of Houston, Texas. Next street is, you'll see, the street. It's pronounced Houston here in New York, but it's spelled like the city of Houston, Texas. Soho. Many art galleries there, clothing stores, espresso shops, but mostly art galleries. Very fine art gallery, artwork. If a fire broke out in the building, there were no fire escapes. The women were trapped. Unfortunately, thousands of them were killed. Now today, it's required by law to have fire escapes. The owners of the building closed the doors years ago for security reasons. If a fire did break out, there was no way that people could escape. Thousands of women worked in the factories here were killed. The factories are gone. It is now replaced, as you could see, by art galleries now called the Soho. Because there was no Soho district years ago, there is now. There are also fire escapes required by law. But you will see the very fine art galleries here, clothing stores, very nice, fine restaurants. You can have a good time shopping here. I think that's the middle name of New York, shopping. Did you ever see so many stores? Very defined stores here. You can see not only do they have art galleries, but also, now this is Spring Street. You will see many art galleries here. This is the main street for the art gallery district. Look at them all, one after another. But they not only do they have art galleries, they have, well, here's one, a shoe store, you see it? Leather goods and clothing, they've got it all here. It's very nice. Soho is very popular. You can spend the whole day shopping here. Fine restaurants to enjoy. Look at them all. Everywhere you go in New York, trucks, everywhere. New York is also a city of parades. We have an Easter parade, a St. Patrick's Day parade, Labor Day parade, Columbus Day parade, Thanksgiving Day parade, Israeli parade, a German parade, Puerto Rican parade, Greek parade. We have parades all year in New York. It's part of the culture. We no eggs, no cream. I can tell you, it's very tasty. And I'll give you the recipe. Chocolate syrup, milk seltzer, very good. The egg cream of New York, very tasty. You got the recipe? Easy. Thousands of them. Much different when it was 100 years ago, when thousands of Europeans have come. Today, the culture has changed dramatically. Further on in the tour, we will show you Chinatown up close, but this is the beginning of it right here. You see the Chinese department store on the left side, Pearl River, right to the left. See them? Now you see a lot of merchandise and stores on the outside of the sidewalks. You can buy almost anything in New York. There is a Chinese department store right there. Canal Street. Coming up now, our stop here, Canal Street. Goes all the way to Albany, and then it continues on to Canada for 300 miles. Broadway. When John Glenn came through here a few months ago, he came down Lower Broadway right here. This is what they do with the heroes. They have a ticker tape parade in this area. If you're ever in New York when we have a parade, you will see what I mean by excitement. The band, they put salt on the ice to melt the ice. And then the salt digs into the ground and makes the potholes even bigger. So that presents a major problem in New York. Potholes. They're big. It's hard to fix them all. There's so many streets. How do you fix all the potholes everywhere? We have 5 boroughs. A major city to fix potholes. Look at all the construction here. Look what's going on. It's going to create a lot of jobs, as you can see. This building on the left side is a federal building named after Senator Javits. Jacob Javits was a senator for many years in New York. He was also Attorney General in New York. This building is named after him. The Javits Convention Center is located on 33rd Street and 7th Avenue and 11th Avenue. See, they made it nice and easy for people to relax, enjoy some sunshine here. See the benches here? Very pleasant here. This is called Foley Square. This is the government center and courthouses. Straight ahead up there is the New York courthouse. The building in the middle is the U.S. courthouse. The building straight ahead is the municipal building, where the controller of New York works. The government and legal center right here, the court area. Look at all the construction going on. It's amazing. Amazing. Well, New York is 100 years old, more than 100 years old. They have to fix the streets, the pipes, and they're doing it. Right above these columns, it's called New Amsterdam. That's what New York was called before calling New York. It was called New Amsterdam. So 1898 is when New York became 5 boroughs were incorporated into New York. Now the people of Brooklyn weren't too happy about that because they lost their independence. The Dutch came to Brooklyn in 1636. But what happened was it merged into New York City in 1898. The bridges helped Brooklyn a great degree, bring a lot of people over there on the bridges. The Brooklyn Bridge coming up on the left-hand side, the famous Brooklyn Bridge. It was completed in 1883, there it is. The people walk over that bridge every day. There they go. See them? Great way to get some exercise, a great view, a couple of 100 feet high. Nice. People walk over that bridge every day. Every day. Great way to get some exercise, a great view, a couple of 100 feet high. Nice. People walk over that bridge every day. Every day. It's about a mile. Want some fresh air? Great view? You've got it right there. The Brooklyn Bridge. Here on the right side is City Hall. Our mayor works off to the right side. City Hall. Off to the right, that white building right there. Mayor Rudy Giuliani from there. He's done a very good job as mayor of New York. Very good. Cleaner New York. Safer New York. Very pleasant. The building across the street, that white building, that is the Woolworth building. It is called the Cathedral of Commerce. It was a major area for commercial buildings there, commercial companies were there, so it was called the Cathedral to Commerce. This building on the left side, this is the oldest church in New York, 1785. Here at the corner on the left-hand side, the oldest church in New York, St. Peter's. But that's what happened years ago. Then the World Trade Center here, this area employs more than 55,000 people. It has helped the people in the area, the stores. It's cleaned up the area also because this area for many years was neglected. New York has more Fortune 500 companies than any other city in the United States. The apartments on the right side on landfill are smaller than one on the left. The difference between bedrock and landfill apartments are 22 stories high, much smaller than the ones on the left side. Also, there are many office buildings on the left side have been recently converted to apartment buildings. On the right side, you see that white circular building right there. Holocaust Museum, dedicated to those Thailand in the harbor, Statue of Liberty in the harbor. For those getting off here, if you're going to the Statue of Liberty, I highly recommend the short ferry ride to Ellis Island. The immigrants came to America, they had to be physically fit before they could be admitted to America. They were part Ellis Island, Statue of Liberty, and any gratuity or tip would be appreciated. The building in front of us here is the Museum of the American Indian. Museum of the American Indian, right here. For those getting off here, thank you for coming with New York Apple Tours. We want you to enjoy your stay here. We hope you enjoy this part of the tour. We enjoy bringing this tour to you. Thanks for coming to our town. For those getting off here, enjoy your stay. Thanks again.
I will be back here shortly before 3 p.m. It is about an hour, 45-minute tour. As everyone looks at their watches and thinks. Anybody go to the statue? Yeah? What's the price? All the way? No. I know, it looks up there going, yeah, that's okay. Foreign buildings. Now we are going to go over the Manhattan Bridge across the East River and into Brooklyn. Those are our plans, unless we crash into a bus. Alright, so I guess we're still going over the bridge. Did not perish in a big fireball. Here in downtown Manhattan, actually 30% man-made. The ground is 30% man-made. We ran out of room. In fact, this street called Water Street, on the lamppost directly ahead of us, you'll see a Wall Street sign. You guys see that straight ahead? Straight, right in front of you. There you go. Look up and you'll see it. Okay, now from your left. That's the lamppost. That's the Wall Street sign up there. You see how high the Wall Street sign is? Isn't that wild? You know why the Wall Street sign is so high? Okay. Well, there was only one sign for all four corners. Usually in New York, we have at least 2 or 3 signs. You know why they are so rare there? Because you tourists keep stealing our Wall Street signs. Knock it off. On your right, that white covered pier on your right, the boat here, are indoor tennis courts where you can play tennis for about $60 to $100 an hour. Over on your right, that is the Brooklyn Bridge. That brown brick bridge. We'll see a much better view of it later on. Across the river to your right, that, my friends, the wonderful land of Brooklyn. These ships you see here to your right, this is the South Street Seaport Museum and Mall. It is a shopping center and museum to shipping here in New York City. Looks like we have some people here. Brooklyn! The blue bridge after it is the Manhattan Bridge. So we're going to go over the Manhattan Bridge. Families here in New York. And on your left, the brown buildings with the square windows, that is the headquarters of the police department. One Police Plaza, headquarters for the police department on your left. And on your left, pretty side streets over here to your left. See how narrow they are? I would never want to drive this thing. This bus with those side streets. Not that I would ever want to drive this bus, but I wouldn't want to drive this bus on an empty road. Even if it was Corrientes, I wouldn't want to drive this. I don't care how wide it is. Was that no? Still couldn't get me to drive this thing. The main street of Chinatown, over to your left, Canal Street. But we're taking a right here onto the Manhattan Bridge. Alright, if you have a camera, you might want to get over on the right. Get it out, get it ready. Come on. We're going to see gorgeous shots of the skyscrapers in downtown and the Brooklyn Bridge shortly. Later on, we'll have a photo opportunity for myself. One picture of me, only $5 on sale today. Hope nobody's scared of heights. There we go, still nice. Gorgeous skyscrapers of downtown. And on your right, that is the Brooklyn Bridge. In New York Harbor. Built in 1883 out of 80% stone. The Brooklyn Bridge is a marvel in architecture and engineering. It was built by an American named Roebling. Anybody know where Roebling and his family were from? Germany. They were German Americans. Also to your right, the Statue of Liberty. Does anybody know where the Statue of Liberty is from? Now, the man who designed the Brooklyn Bridge, he was coming off of the ferry, and he had his foot crushed by a ferry at the dock. He died. A couple weeks later, his son took over the building of the Brooklyn Bridge, and then his son was scuba diving. Anybody scuba dive? You know what the bend is? Decompression sickness? Well, 17 people died from decompression sickness alone while building the Brooklyn Bridge. The son of the designer of the bridge got sick from decompression sickness. He died, but he was paralyzed. He then had his wife send messages to the workers on the Brooklyn Bridge. Her name was Emily Roebling, and she was, in a lot of real ways, she was the real... Alright, on your left. This building to the left now is a high school. The building on your left now, with the satellite dish on top, is a television production center of the Board of Education. And they on your right, they're playing blacktop basketball. No fouls. If you do call a foul, all you get is the ball back, so most people just don't bother calling a foul. And also handball courts. You don't have that number here, right? Handball? See, wait. Come with me. These armored cars are what transport the money from our subway system. Good luck robbing one of those. You'll see a Renaissance Revival building to your far left now. That is the main post office here in Brooklyn. Directly in front of us, the entrance to the Brooklyn Bridge. You'll see underneath the green sign that says Brooklyn Bridge, it says, no commercial trains. Are the international headquarters for the Jehovah's Witness religion.